Welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Our guest tonight can regularly be seen on Eyewitness News and Fox Providence. We're thrilled that she's here with us tonight. Please welcome to Wicked Late, the one and only Erin Kennedy. Erin, how are you?
I'm great, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here.
It's a thrill. I'm a big fan of the show.
I'll do the jokes. All right.
Okay.
Well, talk to me a little bit about yourself, about where you're from, and how you originally sort of got into the news business as a young lady.
Well, I never really thought that I would be in TV news. I kind of always thought it was self-indulgent. But I had a phenomenal internship in Denver, which is where I grew up. My parents are from here. My first job was in Texas, because as you know, you have to start small and kind of work your way up.
Your parents are from here?
Yes.
But you...
After they'd gotten married, they moved to Colorado.
Okay, I want to make sure, just, you know.
No, we have to clarify.
Very
Only
good.
child syndrome, though, this is me. So when they moved back out to Rhode Island, I decided to follow them after my job in Texas.
Oh, wow. And then as a young child, did you know, was there any inclination that you might lean towards television? When did that happen? When did you have that revelation?
It was the summer after my junior year in college.
Wow, so fairly late then.
Yeah, I thought I would do law or something along those lines. Then I had an internship with a congresswoman in Denver that I really didn't enjoy. So it was after the internship with KCNC, the CBS affiliate in Denver, I started putting together a resume tape, which is how we send ourselves and market ourselves out there.
Correct.
And then I sent that out, and my first job offer was actually Jackson, Tennessee, but I went to Lubbock, Texas.
Oh my goodness.
And it's Lubbock, not Lubbock.
I would say Lubbock.
You would, yeah. And we would get so many phone calls, because everybody starting in Lubbock is brandy new.
Ah, okay.
And all the natives would be like, no, it's Lubbock.
Little do they know you're just passing through.
I know.
You hope.
2.5 years
But that's sort of the route that people traditionally have to take in this business. You have to start somewhere small and then work your way up.
Right.
Is it ever discouraging when you're starting in these small markets that I'm going to be here forever, you know?
It's incredibly difficult. What's nice about it is you're in the same boat with a bunch of other reporters who they're not from Lubbock either, and so you get really close to them, and then whenever their contract is up, they leave, but then there's somebody else coming. So it's new to everybody. I mean, it was better than Glendive, Montana, which is Market 212. So.
What number was Lubbock?
147.
147. Well, that's a decent place to start.
It was a perfect place to start, but I wouldn't have resigned.
And then from there, where did you move on to?
Here.
Oh, directly to here?
Yes.
Wow, oh, that's great research on my part, isn't it? But then now, in all of your years, now how many years have you been covering the news now total in terms of reporting, anchoring, all that stuff?
Since I graduated. In fact, I started applying during the spring break of my senior year in college. And
you don't have to say the year.
I'll
announce it. No, stop.
And it was 2 weeks after I graduated. Basically, Texas said, what day do you graduate, when can you be here?
Oh my goodness.
And I said, give me 2 weeks,
wow.
I'll be there. So it's been ever since. And I was there for 2.5 years, and I came here in December of '05. So I'm coming up on my 4-year anniversary here.
Very, very nice. Audience?
Thank you.
Oh, that's right. But that's very impressive. Have you enjoyed your tenure here thus far?
It's been wonderful. I never really thought I'd be able to be in the same market where my parents are.
Right.
So it's been kind of a gift to be able to, have Thanksgiving dinner with them and then still work.
Right.
It was either one or the other before.
They must be very proud telling everyone, that's our girl on TV.
I think they are. My dad especially, yes. He's overcome with pride. But it's fun though too, because every now and then I'll get the phone calls where it's like, I didn't really like those earrings. It's like, okay.
Your parents are overcome with pride. That's ironic because mine are overcome with shame. So really,
I doubt that.
No, no, they're very, very supportive. But anyway, talk to me a little bit about horror stories, bloopers that have taken place. We were talking about this earlier before we went on. Now, occasionally, you're doing a newscast every day. A different production has to be put together.
Right.
I would think on occasion things are going to happen.
I would think you're familiar with this too,
I'm very familiar with it, actually.
The thing that's scary, though, with news is that it's live.
Yeah.
So one of the funnier ones, when I was anchoring in Texas, I was a solo anchor, which means there was nobody else on the desk with me.
Okay, I thought maybe you would sing the news.
Oh, you would not want that. And I got the hiccups for 20 minutes. I had the hiccups, and that was extremely embarrassing, and all I could do was try and apologize between the hiccups. Another good one.
I like this. I think the hiccups are hilarious anyway, and someone trying to do the news with them.
Well, what's even funnier is I was at the grocery store down there, and so this one man came up to me. He said, "Oh, Erin," he said, "I'm such a big fan." And I said, "Oh, thank you very much." And he said, when you had the hiccups, I TiVo'd that.
Oh, is it that
I watch
nice?
it all the time.
Is it
I'm
that
like,
nice?
oh, great. I'm glad I can provide some entertainment.
Very funny and also a little disturbing, I would say.
Yeah, well, as long as he's laughing.
That's true, and watching. So anything else that comes to mind?
Here, My biggest fear in life are moths.
Okay.
And especially Miller moths, but this was, it was probably about 2 summers ago. It was before I had the job I have now, which is anchoring the 5:30 and the 10. So I was out reporting, and we were on a beach very late at night, and so we had to put up floodlights to illuminate the beach, otherwise you can't see it.
Right.
And so these lights were attracting moths that were the size of my fist.
Okay.
You see where this is going,
Yeah,
right?
I think so, unfortunately.
So I tell my photographer, I was like, Andy, I was like, I'm deathly afraid of moths. If we can please just move those lights a little bit farther away, I'd really appreciate it.
Right.
Don't bother me at all until we're in the live intro into my package.
Okay.
And as I'm introducing it, a moth flew sideways into my hair and got stuck and started fluttering around, and it was all I could do to not scream.
Oh my goodness.
But I got through it, tossed to the package, and then I flipped out.
And then you flipped out. Well, see, you know, it's just like you said, it's live, anything can happen, you just never know.
Right.
Now, doing the news, you do it every single day, day in and day out. How do you, I've always wondered this about people, you know, in the news business, how do you push through? Because there's a lot of difficult stories that you as the anchor have to bring to us, the home viewer, in our living rooms or wherever we may be. How do you get through that when you have to bring to the light a difficult story?
That's a really good question. I actually get that a lot.
Yeah, oh, you get it a lot though, so I'm so original, aren't I?
No, I mean, it is. It's important because people wonder whether I think we are emotionally involved in the stories. And I am, because, I mean, I've had my fair share of life experiences. I know that there's a lot of, you know, backstory that goes into these, and I do my best to try and understand what's going on and make sure that, you know, I'm not just reading it. I have to understand it, and then it's not something that's repetitive. It's new.
And you can't get attached to a story because there's another one coming. It never stops, and you have to just be ready to break that next event.
There are a couple of those stories, though, especially the ones where the soldiers come home and like their little kids see them. Where there have been a couple of very close calls for me where I am so verklempt that it's touch and go there for a while.
And how do you like anchoring? Do you have a preference, the 5:30 or the 10? Or do you like morning? I guess I should ask you. You do, you know, nighttime. Have you ever done morning?
I did mornings in Texas. Mornings, it's difficult because I was up at 2 in the morning, and I had to be at work at 4, and so I was in bed at 6. That was difficult. It was nice though because you're done and you have the day to yourself. But I definitely prefer this schedule now.
Excellent.
And as far as the 5:30 or the 10, they're both great.
Sure, and you really, you know, Eyewitness News of Fox Providence really sort of making great strides. It seems like you guys are just gaining new viewers left and right. So it must be very gratifying to you to be part of that team.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Sure.
It is. We have phenomenal people, and we're putting out a really great product, and we're working really hard to do it. And I think Rhode Island's small enough that, I mean, we know that Channel 10, most people watch them, but I think that we can hopefully convert people one person at a time.
Oh, the hell with them. Eyewitness News, Fox Providence, that's where it's at. Now, Erin, before you go, I just want to ask you one question. What do you think of the beard?
I like it.
You
I especially like the touch of red.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't know.
I think is the Irish?
Yeah, apparently, yes. But my father, when he was younger, he had, you know, the red hair, but he doesn't have it anymore. I guess maybe that's where it came from.
There you go.
Sort of ginger look. Yeah, that's right. Through all these years. Well, you know, I was going to shave it for you, but you know, I figured I would stick it out for one last month.
I'm happy you did it.
Well, thank you very much, and thanks for lying and saying it looks good.
Yeah, you can pay me after the show.
Thanks so much for being here.
Happy to be here.
Erin Kennedy from Eyewitness News in Fox
you.
Providence, everybody. We'll be right back after this.